y'all, welcome back. A lot of you have asked me to share my recipe for my marinara sauce. It's very simple, so I'm going to throw it together for you here so you can see exactly what it is. I'm just going to put a little olive oil in my cast iron Dutch oven there. And the first thing I'm going to do is I want to dice this onion up fairly small. Sometimes I'll run it through the food processor because I like it nice and minced. But today I'll probably just do like 1/4 inch dice on this. We're going to saute that off. A lot of you probably seen people cook their pasta, marinara sauce, whatever you want to call it, all day long. Mine, I just cook it for maybe an hour or so. Just get all the flavors to meld, get it thicken up. I'm going to hold these tight so I can get these in. I'm just going to slide those right in there. They're going to stick to my knife. In they go. And I like to turn the onion around when I'm dicing so I get the larger side to hold on to. Because when I get down to this, I'm just going to have a little big spot there. So just turn it over. I'm going nice and slow so this doesn't fall apart on me. And I don't cut off my finger. So there is my onion. We're just going to saute it for about 2 minutes. We just want it to soften up a little bit. I don't need this anymore. Now this is strictly my marinara sauce. No meat, no anything. I'm just going to make this up. I'm probably going to use it later this week. I was thinking about making some lasagna roll-ups that I can share with you guys. But at that point, I can add whatever I want into it. Meat, sausage, turkey, ground beef. Ooh, gonna cry here. And I get this over about a medium-high heat. Just sauteing those off. And to it, usually I add maybe a quart and a pint of my crushed tomatoes. I'm saving all those since I'm going to need those this summer. I'm going to try to get, or this winter, I'm trying to get rid of some of the canned stuff that I have. So I've got 3 cans of fresh tomato or diced tomatoes. These are 14.5-ounce cans. So what's that? 43.5 ounces. So a little bit over a quart. Just saute those off a little bit. Also, I have a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of dry parsley, and a tablespoon of basil. I like to put those in with the onions. That way all the oils can start cooking out of those, get the flavors added to it. Oh my God, that smells good. Now, I'm not putting the garlic in yet. Usually I put maybe 3 or 4 cloves of garlic minced up. I may have a little bit more than that. I love garlic. You can put as much in there as you want. You can leave it out if you'd like. This is just the basic marinara sauce that I use for most of my recipes. And I think Mom did one earlier and canned it. I think there's a recipe for that on one of our videos. But this summer, or this coming fall, hopefully I'll have a big enough garden. And I'll be canning tomatoes, my tomato salsa, my tomato paste, and tomato sauce. Fresh tomatoes, all that. I go through a lot of tomatoes. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to add in the garlic. I also put in about a teaspoon and a half of smoked paprika. That's just optional. That's just the flavors I like. You don't have to. I'm going to put in a full can of tomato paste. Maybe a little bit big. Maybe a smaller one. And I'm just going to cook this for just a minute, just the tomato paste with all this, just to get some caramelization on that and get the flavor cooked in to the onions. That all mixed in with the onions. Now some people will put a diced carrot in there, adds sweetness to it, brings down the acidity level of the tomatoes. I'll sometimes do that, or I'll put like a pinch of sugar. Sometimes even just a very small pinch of baking soda will bring down the acidity of the tomatoes. You don't want to overdo it on the baking soda though, it can really ruin it. But just a little pinch sometimes will bring down the acidity level if they're really acidic. Okay, so I'm also going to add in my tomatoes, diced tomatoes. If you want a smoother sauce, you can run these through the food processor or blender. I'm just going to cook this all together like this. And if it's too thick, once it's cooked for about an hour, I'm just going to let it simmer. I might use my immersion blender, my stick blender, and just puree it up. Get that in there. Now, last thing I'm going to put is about a half to 3/4 of a cup of red wine. I'm going to put about half a cup, maybe a little more. Ooh, the wine smells good. Now the wine is optional too. You don't have to put the wine in. But if you're cooking with wine, always cook with a wine that you would drink. I don't cook with cooking wine. Just doesn't have the good flavor. If I'm not going to drink it, I'm not going to cook with it. So there is my marinara. I'm just going to cover this. I'm going to put it down on a number 2 or 3, low simmer, and just let it cook for about an hour. And then I'll be back. Okay, we're back. It's been about an hour and a half. I've just let it simmer all afternoon. It smells delicious. I smell that garlic. Taste it. I taste garlic. Excuse me. I can also taste the wine in there. That's really good. Now, let me get a spoon. I'm going to show you. It is a little chunky. I like that, but I'm going to be using it. I want it a little bit smoother. I'm going to be using it in, like I said, I believe lasagna roll-ups later this week. So what I'm going to do is take the immersion blender to it. And just smooth it out. So there. Now make sure you've got it all the way down to the bottom. You're not going to tear up your pan. These blades in here will not reach the bottom. I'm just going to slowly take it around. I tilted it up just a little bit to get some room at the bottom for the chunks to get through. And you can just do this as smooth as you want. You can also put this in a blender and do it. If you do it in a blender, do not do it while it's hot. If you do, cover it with a towel because the heat will make the top pop off and you will have marinara sauce everywhere. I know. If you're going to do it in a blender, I always let it cool down first. A couple times that I've done it in a blender, I just cool it down and then run it through the blender. Or if you know you want it thin from the beginning, nice and smooth, you can run your tomatoes through the blender before you put them in the pan. So there we go. Nice and thick. I went all the way around. Make sure. Get another spoon here. Yeah. Nice and garlicky. Okay. So that is my marinara sauce. You can change this up any way you want. Leave out some of the garlic if you don't like the garlic. Leave out some of the spices. Let me get rid of this. If you want to make it into a vodka sauce, you can put a little bit of heavy cream in there and vodka. I got that recipe on my website too. I'll put a link down below for my vodka sauce. But you can leave the vodka out if you just wanted a cream sauce or roast sauce. Like I said, you can add any kind of meat you want to it now. I Sometimes we'll make it, saute the meat off if I'm using ground turkey or ground chicken or ground beef, and then I'll make the sauce with it. That way all the flavor goes into the meat. But you can saute it off and put it in when you get ready to use it. So I'm going to jar this up, put it in a couple jars, put it in the refrigerator, and it'll keep a week, maybe a week and a half in the refrigerator. You can also freeze this if you want. You can can it. I'll be doing a lot of canning this summer and fall when the tomatoes start coming on, so I'll show you how I can that. Mom's already canned some, and I think there's a video of it already on YouTube. I'll leave a link down below. If you guys are new here, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and hit the bell. That way you'll be notified every time we put out a new video. Hit the like button. That really does help us. You guys have been doing that, and it's getting our video out now to everybody on YouTube. So we appreciate that so much. If you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comments. I'm trying to answer all the comments that I can as quickly as I can. If I just put a heart, that means I did read it, but I've got so many coming through over the Christmas holidays that I did not have time to answer them all because, as you know, I traveled up to Ohio to see Mom. So just leave down below. I'll put the directions down below and a QR code right here. You can just point your phone at that if you're on your TV, and it'll open on your phone directly to my recipe. You can print it out. I'll also put a link down below where you can go directly to my website and print it out from there. Like I said, if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I'll answer them for you. Again, thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen. I feel so blessed that you guys are joining me. I'm having a ball doing this. And if you have any recipes you'd like me to try, send them to me. I've done a few. I'm going to start doing a few more of the Depression era recipes. So look forward to those. If you have any other comments, just let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.